Mia, hello. It's been quite a while since you and I have had a chat.
Yeah, it has been. I was trying to think when it was, and I still can't remember.
I looked it up and it was so the interview we did was for NZ On Screen and it was December 2014. So it's almost 10 years.
That is so long ago.
So I want to talk about your new film, which is Payback, short film, part of the Show Me Shorts Festival. And I saw it today, a screener of it, and loved it, absolutely loved it. So let's start off with, for those who don't know much about it, just a brief synopsis of what it's about, and then why it was important for you to do it.
Basically, I got this opportunity to work with these Toi Whakaari students, and I had to sort of think, how am I going to write a short film to give 7 actors a moment each at least? You know, when short films are really only designed for 1 or 2 people. And it was my first short film. So it was like, what am I doing here? And I was trying to think of a situation that applied to me at the same age. And I had some very mixed memories about being on the artist's benefit and going into WINS. I had a really positive experience, and then I had to shift to a different place, and I had a different case manager, and I had a very negative experience. And both were very good for me to have. You know, I think when you're in a situation like that and you have to literally kind of ask for money and you feel that horrible feeling of like not being good enough. I think it's actually important to go, okay, I need to remember how this feels and have empathy for people in the same situation. And it's not a nice place to be, but those memories came to me, and it's about a broken system is what it is, because even though there's one case manager in there who we all love to hate, she's also a product of a broken system. She's trying to get through the way that she thinks is right and following the rules, even when sometimes the rules don't make sense. And then you have the clients who are there, and they're all victims of this broken system. So I suppose it's about a reaction to the system, and everything that pretty much happens in that film, unfortunately, has happened. And fortunately too, because there are good things too that happen. They're all kind of based on real life events, but except for the twist at the end.
which we won't give away. But it's a really good twist. And I have to say, you mentioned one of the characters, Debs, who's the I guess the head of this particular welfare office. And I'll say it, she comes across as a right bitch. And I have to say, the casting for her was terrific, because I was watching this and just thinking, I know that this is a film, but I want to throttle her.
Yes, Gentian Lupi is an undiscovered gem, really. We were in a TV series called Love Bites together. And when we were very young, in our early 20s, I just rang her and I said, "Gents, do you want to do a part in a short film?" And she went, "Yes." And I said, "You don't even know what it's about." And she was like, "I want to." And she just turned up, and Gentian is the complete opposite of this character. She is playful.
Well, that's good to know.
Yes, she is playful. She's generous. She's not racist. And so to have her come in, I had the first day with the actors on my own, and then I had Gentian come in, and her playfulness and the way she just makes people feel comfortable, and she's just such a generous person. All the actors just went, "Oh, we can play, we can have fun, we can enjoy this," and stop being serious short film. And I just was so grateful how it turned out. And I do feel bad because people really don't like her. And I'm like, it's not Gentian. But it's a testament to her craft.
Yeah, well, she did amazingly well, as did everybody. So you've been directing episodes of Shortland Street for a while, and you've directed and written this film. But I imagine this is different because this is your baby. It's something that was your concept, and so how did it feel to actually be pulling this together?
You know, it's so funny. I'm a little bit like I put things out into the universe, and when they happen, you go, oh, this is a real chance for me to do something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And when I got this opportunity, I really only had maybe 5 months to pull it together from the moment that I got my cast to the moment that we were shooting. That's not very much time in between shooting Shortland Street blocks. But I was just so driven. At the time, actually, I'd taken some time off Shortland Street, and I was shooting After the Party in Wellington. So that was a blessing, because every time I went to After the Party, I would say, could you put off my flights for 5 days and I'll stay with my sister? And so I have to thank After the Party, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to go to Wellington as often on the budget that we had. And it just, I was just so driven because I knew that it was an opportunity to work with the DOP in a different way and not be in that crazy mad rush that you are in Shortland Street. And it's like I've been saying, I want to make a short film, and then I had this opportunity. So yeah, I grabbed it. Like I really went for it.
That's brilliant. Do you think you'd like to tackle maybe a full-length feature film?
Definitely. There's a lot I want to do. Currently, I've just got development funding with the same producer of Payback and another exciting writer, Kishan Rahman, and we've got development funding for a TV series idea that I came up with. So I love the long episodic sort of medium. I love that. I think because it's character, you can really explore the characters, and the actor in me loves that. I've got another short film, which is more conventional with just 2 people in it, which is something I'm just trying to get off the ground, and I think will be a really beautiful, beautiful piece. And then, of course, I want to do a feature. So I'm kind of I want to do everything, basically. I'm greedy.
I'm wondering, all creative people, in fact, most humans generally, have doubt. But I know, being enmeshed in the creative world, that doubt is an integral part of it, and sometimes it can spur us on to new things. I just wonder, how do you deal with that in your creative process? What do you do in those moments where you're thinking, "Oh, I'm stuck," or "Where am I going?"
So this is interesting because when I first got given this opportunity, I had realized that a lovely, darling friend of mine had kind of advocated for me as part of the toy film project. Chelsea Preston Crayford has been part of the project and was asked by Vaughan Slynn and some others at Toi Whakaari, do you know anyone? And she'd just been on Shortland Street, and I'd been telling her how sort of impassioned I was to do directing, and she's a director herself. And unbeknownst to me, she'd kind of advocated for me, and then they offered me the thing, and it's such a nice feeling. And so I had called her and I'd said, thank you. But also, I said, give me advice. What the hell am I doing? And she said to me, it's going to be amazing there, but it's going to be really confronting. And I heard that, I heard it, and I sort of kept it with me, but I didn't. Then when I got to my edit, and I thought, what have I done? oh no one's going to like this film. And it just all this doubt. Like up until that moment, I'd just been so busy and I'd been so focused. I didn't have a chance to kind of indulge myself with doubt. Once we got into the edit, and I'd said to the editor, just cut me your version. And I hadn't kind of specified anything. Well, I burst into tears. That's how I coped with doubt. I burst into tears and I called Miriam and she said, oh, darling, we all cry at the first cut. So then I had to kind of go, it's okay. Everything that you wanted is there. It's just very confronting when you're so exposed. And as an actor, you're vulnerable in a different way. But as a director, it's like being more a singer or something where you can't hide. You can't say, oh, it was the director, or it was the script, or it was, you can't say that because it's you. So I think that was a really big lesson for me to go through. And I think it was very valuable because the next time I do something, I'll be ready for that and I'll go, this is okay. This is normal. And in fact, it's kind of helps you to push through in a strange way. You're still looking for the gems. You're not going to settle. You're like, right, how am I going to make this work? And so that's how I cope with doubt. I burst into tears.
Great. And then you work through it. That's the thing, isn't it? And there are solutions. And I know I've never done film work, but I know doing factual television a long time ago, the interactions between the editor and myself, or as you, the director, and so on, is actually really quite wonderful. And the problem solving and how you can think, oh, actually, maybe this might work. It's actually quite wonderful, that process. But you're right. There is a moment of, oh my God, what's going on here?
I think the thing is too, is what I've learned is that you can have a script, but then when you get in the edit room, you can look at the script all you want. What you have is the footage. That's your new script. And once you embrace that and you go, this is what we have now, and there's so much there, that's what you're playing with. And I totally agree. I love the editing, like post-production process, just as much as I love the shooting, because there are so many things you can do actually. And you can cut it and think that's the film, and then you take something out and it's a totally different film. It's changed again. So I agree. I think it's a really exciting process. And I was lucky because my editor, Ben Pesters, was amazing and wonderful. And then also Miriam came in she just left me to it, but she came in at a key time and really helped me to fine tune. And then I had, I was very shy about sharing the film, and I have a lot of friends who are amazing filmmakers and maybe a lot further down the line in terms of their directing careers. So I was very reserved about who to share it with, but I did share it with Tor Fraser, and that was a very wise move.
Excellent.
And just getting his feedback, he made a suggestion which was quite radical. There's actually a whole other scene that we shot that started the film, and it's completely gone. And he put me onto that, and at first I sort of went, what? And then I just heard what he said, and Miriam was with me when I was discussing it with her, and we just went, that makes complete sense. So, there's a time, I think, in the editing process to keep it precious, to keep it yours, to really guard it. And then there's a time to open it up to the very few that you trust. And you can reject, you can say no, but I think it's quite important to share it with those people. Yeah.
Yeah. But also having that courage to what they refer to as killing your babies. So it's something that you shot, that you put a lot of thought into, but it's like, it's not right. It's got to go. And that's a tough thing. That's a really tough thing to have to do.
It's really tough, but I actually owe Shortland Street that power, because so many times I've shot something that I love, doesn't make the cut. We don't have the time. It's a B storyline. We'll have to get rid of it. And the first few blocks, you kind of like, oh, this is ruthless. And then you work for the episode, you work for the production. And I think that without that in my history, I would have found it very hard to just let that go, because everyone had put the time in. You know, the students thought that was starting the film. I had all these things, and actually no one missed it, and it was the right thing to do. So yeah, it was kind of a culmination of lots of little things that I'd learned from different places and from different people. And it was like, oh, it's okay. I can get rid of it.
Brilliant. Hey, I've got one final question for you, which is not about the film at all. Do you have a go-to comfort food? Something that, you know, if you're feeling down, it's a cold winter's night, what's your comfort food?
My comfort food has to be combination fried rice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if I'm away from home, if when I was in Wellington shooting, I'll go and, you know, to the best, what's that place called on Cuba Street? I can't remember the name. It's a Chinese restaurant in Cuba Street, and everyone in Wellington will be screaming out the name right now. But anyway, I'd go and combination fried rice, and that would be like, I don't know, there's something about it. I think when we were kids, there in Tonga, there was an Asian restaurant that we always used to go to. So I think that fried rice makes me feel really comforted.
It's the carbs, but then the other textures, the other tastes, and it's
it's the salt, and then you have everything. You have chicken, you have pork, you have prawns. It's not to love.
Yeah, totally. No, I get it, fully get it. Hey, Mia, really nice to talk to you. As I say, that I think the film's fantastic. So I'm proud of you. It's a really good piece of work, and let's not leave it 10 years. Yeah.
No, let's hope it's the next short film. Maybe the TV series. Who knows?